What's going on, everybody? My name is Mario, and your name is?
Drew.
I'm Mostly Coasters, he's Parks Bros, and this is One More Ride, the postcast to our main podcast, Loopy Dudes. And in today's episode, we asked you guys, what did we ask you? Where's the question? What are your tips for visiting theme parks in the summer?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Wait a second for what?
Give me a second. Oh, sorry. I apologize.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, go on. I apologize. As I cursed.
This is the question
as
where
I
we
cursed
ask
multiple
you,
times.
what the now I gotta edit more.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyways, we asked you guys what your tips for visiting theme parks in the summer were. We got some decent responses. I got a lot more than usual, Drew, because I didn't post it at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, no, that might help. That might help.
Like I normally do. I don't know if you got any, but I have enough probably to fill this all. We asked the Discord as well. Go ahead and join Drew's Parks Bros Discord if you haven't already. There's some good stuff in there. Drew, I'll let you find those responses because I'm having a difficult time doing so.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead and start with some of mine if you don't mind me just
okay. All right. That's
taking
fine.
over the entire show off the bat.
I was taking over pretty much most of the podcast, so it's all good.
Fair enough. We mentioned this a little bit, and this was obviously one of the top responses. One of the best possible things you can do for visiting busy theme parks in the summer, get to the parks early. There's really no debating that one. Not only are you going to get to the park at opening, which is pretty much essential, but you want to beat the traffic going into the parks because that is a big problem. I noticed it for the first time at Universal, being the first summer that I've been out here in Florida. Wow. It took me an hour to get into parking, man. Yeah. And it wasn't because they weren't doing a good job. They were doing great. They were efficient as all heck. It's just busy, man.
There's just so many people.
Not only do you got to get in the park at or before opening, you got to beat that off-ramp traffic. What do you think about getting to the parks early, Drew?
I think, honestly, sure, you can aim for park opening, but I would say get there an hour to an hour and a half before park opening, at least at most places.
For the major parks?
Yeah, well, even...
for the major parks, you have to.
Even some of those chain parks, some of them get really busy. Yeah. Especially... That's true.
Even some of the smaller ones in the chains.
Oh, easily.
Right.
But like looking at Magic Mountain specifically, I know that's more of a major park, but... The other, oh my gosh, a month ago now was my last visit, and we waited 50 minutes to get into parking because there were just so many people. And that was before all of those capacity restrictions were lifted in California. So I can't imagine what it's like right now.
Well, and they actually have decent parking operations. Well, they don't have the best operations at that park, but they usually have most of the booths open. So yeah, that's another example of, hey, people are just, there's a lot of them.
There is definitely a lot of them. That's for sure.
I thought this one was really interesting from more of a creator perspective. Credits first, photos later. Yeah. That's how I do things. We even missed, you and I, some video and photo opportunities. We were going to spend our last day just for getting footage of the park. But
over at Cedar Point?
Riding coasters takes priority.
Are you talking about Cedar Point?
Yeah, Cedar Point.
Yeah, our last day, we literally wanted to spend the entire day just taking photos and stuff. And then Top Thrill Dragster was like, we might open, we might not. So then we waited 3.5 hours for it. We wrote it, but we didn't get any photos of anything else. But now I have an hour of footage of Top Thrill Dragster. So
credits over content. I love that.
Yeah, that's a fantastic response. That's a fantastic thing to say.
There's a lot of responses as far as quick queue, skip the lines, fast express, all whatever you want to call them. That's always a toss up, man.
Well, it depends because if you only have one day, then yes, if you can spare the cash.
Yeah.
If you have 2 days, maybe not, depending on the park, of course, and how busy it is. But honestly, if you're a pass holder, then I don't know if you really do that unless you only can visit for this one time out of the next 3 months or whatnot. But yeah, if you're a pass holder, I don't really think it's a good option unless maybe it's SeaWorld San Diego, I know their quick queue's like $20 for the day or $25 for a pass holder, so that's not a bad deal.
Yeah, it's not too terrible.
But then you have some parks like Universal and like Six Flags. They'll like those skip the lines are quite pricey. Like we're talking minimum is $75 to like $150 or whatnot. So
if you're doing one weekend in the middle of summer, it's a necessity. So just work it into your budget. If it's a weekday in summer, those are busy, but they're manageable. So just play it by ear. If you need to get out of the park, you can. It's a bit more expensive, but it's better to just wait till you're there so you don't have to waste the money if you don't need it. Because typically you won't need to, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Speaking of which,
no, I think so too. Yeah, I agree.
Go during the week. So there's that. That gets
I don't know
added in
about
there.
this year.
Well, it'll still be worse in the weekends. I'll tell you.
I don't know about that. At least with the parks in Southern California, with those parks, it's very much hit and miss every single day. There are some Wednesdays that are beyond packed. And then there are some Saturdays that are empty, but then sometimes you have the other way around. It's a toss up here. I know in Florida though, when you're planning a vacation, usually you plan for the weekend. So like, I understand Florida being busier in the weekends, which it makes a lot more sense. But at least with the local parks, this summer might be a little different in terms of like visit weekend / weekday. Because usually the weekday is the go-to, but this year, at least so far, it definitely has not been. So.
Okay. These next ones, got a few of these recommendations as well. You're going to appreciate this one, being the resident mom of sort of our coaster group.
I am indeed Mama Drew.
Water, buying overpriced Coke, water, and slushies are your biggest friend. Yeah, well said.
Always drink your water.
You have to stay hydrated. If like literally drink at least like half a bottle's worth every single ride you do. You have to. I mean, honestly, most of us are not used to doing as much physical activity in a single day, or at least like walking as many miles in a single day as you do at a park. I mean, I average like 10 miles a day when I do either Universal Park, and I don't even spend a full day there. So you have to. And slushies are pretty good too, I think. I think like sodas maybe are not the best, but like it's like frozen ice.
I would
like
say
if you want something like cold and refreshing, that's still going to hydrate you a little bit, I think. I'm not a scientist, but I like the slushy recommendation.
I personally think don't do soda because I know it technically dehydrates you, at least from the small amounts of science I know. But I would always say do water. Water all day, all night long. Like you can't go wrong with it. You need it to survive. Sure, it might not taste as good necessarily as some of the sodas, but it'll keep you feeling better.
I also recommend bringing your own empty bottle into the park because some parks don't allow you to bring a bottled water in the park. They'll make you throw it out. But if you bring your own bottle, especially a big one, you can refill it once and then have it through like a majority of the day. I found that works really freaking well for me.
Also, lot cheaper.
Most places allow it as a loose article to be on platform, like one of the few things, even if they don't allow bags and all that other stuff. So you can have it with you a majority of the time, which is great.
Yeah. But like the biggest thing on that, it's a lot cheaper. Like you don't have to buy the $6 water bottle every couple hours.
Don't pay for bottles. Please don't pay for bottles. Unless you're like rich and like, power to you, I guess.
So I mean, if you can find either like a freestyle machine, I know at Universal that was an awesome thing. All the freestyle machines,
I love how they do it. Use
water.
Man.
You're using water. You don't need to buy the crazy souvenir cup. Just fill up your water. Anything else, of course, it's like give me your code for the crazy souvenir cup. But when you're just needing water, that was awesome. Like one of the best little things about Universal, I think. But even at,
I thought that was awesome. Man.
Even at other parks though, like if you ask, hey, can you fill up my water bottle? usually people will be okay with that. I don't think they can refuse that, honestly.
They can refuse to fill up your bottle, but
okay.
a lot of times when I've had issues with that, they'll give me like just a crap ton of water cups to pour inside.
Yeah,
which is
and
nice.
that's the cool thing too. That you could just ask for a water cup at almost any restaurant, and you could do that too if they can't fill up your water, and then you just pour it in the bottle. Boom, there you go. You know, like
And luckily, more and more places are getting those like spigots that are attached to the fountain, where they have like the sensor, so you can just like literally get as much as you need.
Yeah.
I know, like Magic Mountain, that was one of the biggest problems with them. Their Freestyle machines don't have water, so
Yeah.
your only option to get water is wait in like an hour line for food. But now the fountains just have like a little spigot.
yeah,
So
which is awesome.
love it.
Makes everything so
what
much
else do I
so
got?
much better.
Someone says Hollywood Nights, Keys to the Kingdom, some other abbreviations that I'm not recognizing. Yeah, events are in the summertime, so I guess like that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I know they've been getting more and more popular too, so that does kind of
That's the one
stink a
downside
little
for
bit.
sure.
I know with Hollywood Nights, like Voyage was getting like over an hour wait, while like 3 days before in the regular operating time, it was like a 5-minute wait. So sure,
I know it's almost like they have to make that event like a full week long, so that you
yeah.
like just pick your day, and then it's not as
sure
slammed.
it's trimless, but I don't know. I just I'd rather ride it like
But that is
40 times,
definitely a benefit.
but-
That I mean the events are one thing that are pretty much exclusively in
Yeah.
the summer, so that's
Yeah.
definitely.
But definitely really appreciate that more and more parks are doing events. I think it's really cool, and it gets a lot more people to go to these parks, and I think they're realizing that, because like with Keys to the Kingdom and Hollywood Nights especially, a lot of people are probably thinking, hey, let's go to these parks specifically for this event, and if we like it enough, of course, we go back again and again and again. Where, you know, there are some parks out in the Midwest where you're like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to make it out there. There's just it's really hard to get to from where I'm from. But I think with these events, it just adds to like, oh, hey, this is something different that you don't even get in a regular park day. Maybe it's worth it for me to fly out to this random airport that is kind of harder to get to. And I think that's a really cool thing, at least for parks.
Don't forget sunscreen.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
Dude, I'm still peeling.
Don't be crispy.
It's been a week and a half since I was at Volcano Bay. I'm still peeling. Like, and I put on 7 layers of sunscreen. It was not enough.
Sunscreen and also for sun protection, like a lightweight long sleeve shirt
Or rash guard.
can work wonders.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've been enjoying lately.
Mhm.
So wear shorts. Yeah, wearing the right clothes can make or break your day.
Oh
too,
yeah, don't
honestly.
worry about your style when you're visiting in summer. There's no point to it. Like, just
embrace
be
the
practical.
dorkiness.
be practical.
Yeah,
So like,
absolutely.
I look really derpy with my shorts and my t-shirt and like my grandma glasses with the little like strap on them, but it's
Strap.
practical. I can
Yeah,
wear
yeah.
my sunglasses on every ride as long as I tighten the strap. I'm like cool from the waist down, really, because of those shorts, and I don't know. It's just it's.
Oh no, you're cool all over, Drew. You're just such a cool guy.
But like, it's funny to me when people try and dress to impress at a park when it's 100 degrees out. Like, what? Why?
Those are the type of people that end up passing out in line. Like legitimately,
Exactly.
the people
Yeah.
that pass out in line are the ones that just did not come dressed prepared for the water park. That and hydration.
Yeah. Well, hydration, I think
well, let's
even
talk-
more so. But like, yeah, don't dress to impress. It's not worth it. You'll feel really uncomfortable, and if it's humid and you start sweating or whatnot, that's probably going to get even more uncomfortable. So, yeah, it's not worth it, at least in our opinions.
We did get one recommendation that from the Discord that was not said in all of my Instagram responses, and that is buy a drink plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really effective way to get refills, especially if you don't want to just drink water
Yeah.
and you want to switch it up. Drink plans can genuinely save you, like for a family, like hundreds of dollars. And food plans are good as well, especially if it's one that isn't just, it allows a certain number of meals,
Yeah.
but allows a certain number of meals periodically. So you just have to wait like 90 minutes between meals for some of them. And on the long summer days, you can end up getting like 4 or 5 meals So
Yeah.
think about those meal and drink plans.
For
Those
sure.
are particularly effective in the summertime.
Even
so.
outside of summertime, like I have meal plans on a couple of my
Oh,
passes.
for sure.
And a drink plan on a couple of them too. They are worth the money, straight up, especially the
Yeah.
Cedar Fair
Yeah.
one, especially the Six Flags one even, and the SeaWorld daily meal plan too. Like they are all totally worth it.
Daily or season long,
Yeah.
definitely do it. I just say that they're particularly effective in the summer.
I think the only reason there's like a couple specific ones I wouldn't do a daily on, and that's really if you're only with yourself. Like if you're just a one person party
Right.
at the park, then I wouldn't do the meal plan. But if you've got a full party, then I guess it depends on the meal plan too. At that point,
somewhere
too.
it's not like there's somewhere it's not. You get X amount of meals every X amount of time. It's just you get like 3 meals. Period. It doesn't matter. How much time passes in between. You get a set amount, and those it's like $1 cheaper, and it is with it being limited options. In that circumstance, don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like intricacies with all of these things we're saying, and it really depends on each park. But just remember, we're kind of generalizing in total with all of these tips.
And to sort of not really elaborate, but to sum up that sentiment, the last piece of advice that I have that I didn't go over is plan. Yeah, just plan.
Mm-hmm.
Plan your day. Do research into the park. Look at all they have to offer.
Yeah.
Look up certain topics on YouTube. I found very helpful information just by like searching a specific phrase or saying like, is such and such worth it? Or just watching someone go about their day at a park can be very helpful. So just plan.
Yeah, what you should do in terms of planning is subscribe to me, Parks Bros, and Mario at Mostly Coasters to see what you should do at parks.
And with that, unless you found any other suggestions hiding under the floorboard somewhere.
Nothing that we haven't said. I mean, I just got one. Don't forget sunscreen. Yeah, 100%. Don't forget sunscreen. For sure.
So with all that being said, folks, don't forget your sunscreen. As Drew said, I'm Mostly Coasters on YouTube and Instagram. Drew, what are you?
I'm Parks Bros on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and now TikTok.
Oh,
yeah!
Wow!
I have one
Got a
TikTok
up in here.
Yeah, I don't know why I made it.
I'm also technically on Twitter.
Oh, really?
I think. Yeah, no, don't follow me there though. There's no point.
Well, like
I'm not exactly sure why I have it. I think because parks do like some of them use that as their main form of communication for like updates and stuff, and like letting you know if parks are going to be like closed for weather. Like, so it's actually a useful resource for that.
And I also have a Reddit, which I don't really post on. I'm more of a lurker.
Oh, I have that too, but I don't use it. I don't use it for coastery stuff.
And I do have a Facebook, but I haven't used it in 3 years, so don't go over there. If you still follow me on Facebook, there's no point. I still haven't even changed the old logo, I don't think.
What else do we have that people should
not go to?
Shouldn't. Oh, I want to have a website soon because I do eventually want to have merch. Drew has a website and merch.
Yeah, I haven't.
He actually has some good stuff on there.
You know what? I haven't updated the website since Calico River Rapids.
Yeah, but go check it out anyway. It has a nice design to it.
Well, I'm gonna redo it completely soon. So.
But do go check out his merch, and then here's a little. Should I give a little sneak peek? Should I give a little sneak peek?
Wait, what sneak peek? What of your merch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it quick. We're at 20 minutes.
It's a little fanny pack, a little embroidered fanny pack. Look at that! Wow. Anyways, we gotta go. So, bye everyone.